In tonight's homework, students are going to follow the read, draw, write process, and we've been working on this in class about drawing an image or a picture for what we read in the problem to help us determine the number model. So first, the student should read, ground turkey is sold in packages of 2.5 pounds. Dawn bought 8 times as much turkey that is sold in one package for her son's birthday party. How many pounds of ground turkey did Dawn buy? So if students go back into the problem, they see that they're sold in packs of 2.5 pounds. And she bought 8 times as much that was sold in one. So thinking of what that picture would look like, she bought one package, 2 packages, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And how many come in each packet? That's what the student wants to think about next. So they should put the mix number 2.5 in each package to indicate how much food is coming in each one. Once students do this, they should be able to see 2 number models. They should be able to see the repeated addition number model or the multiplication number model, and they get to pick which one they want to use and how they solve. So if you come down to question 2, we're going to read, draw, write again. So I see that Trevor's stack of books is 7 and 7/8 inches tall. Rick's stack is 3 times as tall. What's the difference in the heights of their stacks? So if I wanted to think about how books look stacked up, I'd think about how tall they go. So if Trevor's is 7 and 7/8, and I know that Rick's is 3 times as high, I know I got to draw 3 copies. They're getting a little bit smaller, but each one should be worth 7 and 7/8. So what's the difference in their stack? I know I'm going to figure out, I first have to solve what Rick's book stack is equal to. And to do that, I'm going to have to do 3 times the 7 and 7/8. Once I get this answer, Rick's books, I'll have to take Rick's books and subtract off what Trevor's books are to find out what the difference between the two is. For question 3, read, draw, write. It takes 8 3/4 yards of fabric to make 1 quilt. Gail needs 3 times as much fabric to make 3 quilts. She already has 2 yards of fabric. How many more yards does she need to buy in order to make 3? So if I think about yards of fabric, when I go to the store, they're long. So she needs 8 3/4. This is for 1 quilt. She needs 8 3/4 for a second quilt, and then 8 3/4 for her last quilt. I already know that she has 2 yards already. This is what she has at her, and this is what she needs. So if I think about this, I first could figure out what she needs by using what I see here. Once I know that, I could subtract off the 2 yards, or I could even think of this first quilt. If I already have 2 yards for it, I only need 6 3/4 more. So I could add up what I need remaining for the first quilt, the second quilt, and the third quilt. Or I could add up add or multiply how much she needs for the 3 and then subtract off the 2 she already has. On the back, students are going to continue to use the same read, draw, write process. So Carol made punch. She uses 12 3/8 cups of juice and then adds 3 times as much ginger ale. Then she added 1 cup of lemonade. How many cups of punch did her recipe make? So if we think about juice, we know that she has 12 3/8 cups of juice. Her ginger ale is 3 times as much as that, so we need 3 times that 12 3/8. And then lastly, we know she has 1 cup of lemonade. So to find out the total, we have to combine the juice, the ginger ale, and the lemonade. Question 5. Brandon drove 72 7/10 of a mile on Monday. He drove 3 times as far on Tuesday. How far did he drive in the 2 days? Well, we could think about Monday. 72 miles and 7/10. 3 times as far on Tuesday, so we need to do 1, 2, 3. We need 3 more. And to figure out how much he used in all, you see how helpful the visual is to determine that. Okay, the last problem, we're talking about 2 family members. Mrs. Reiser uses 9 8/10 gallons of gas. Mr. Reiser uses 5 times as much. If he pays $3 for each gallon, how much did Mr. Reiser pay for gas this week? So if she uses 9 8/10 of a gallon, thinking about this as gasoline, he uses 5 times as much. We have to figure out how much total gasoline he uses. Once we figure out how much gas he's used, 5 times as much, we want to find that total and say for every gallon of gas, he has to pay $3. So first figuring out the gallons used and then the gallons times 3.